A lot of people casting absentee ballots this year because of the pandemic, but will the votes count? Investigative reporter Brendan Kirby has this report on why some ballots might not be, and it's got nothing to do with slow mail.
Lines to vote absentee typically have been long, like this one. So far, more than 200,000 people statewide have requested absentee ballots. That's a record. But if people aren't careful, their ballots could get rejected and they won't even know it. There are lots of ways for a voter casting an absentee ballot to slip up if he or she doesn't read the fine print. The ballot must have a signature, and that signature must be in the right place. It has to go in the correct envelope. It has to have witness signatures.
Errors happen all the time, and whether it's not putting your ballot inside a privacy envelope or including your ballot and your spouse's ballot in the same return envelope, I mean, the average person would think, it makes sense.
That was University of South Alabama professor Alec Yasensak, who has studied the flaws of the absentee voting system. Beyond ballot security questions, Yasensak says the potential is high for voter error, especially when so many people will be casting ballots this way for the first time. Could those types of errors decide the election potentially if it's close?
Oh, it absolutely could.
Alabama doesn't keep track of how many absentee ballots it rejects, but the experience of other states suggests it's more common than you might think. National Public Radio counted more than 500,000 absentee votes that elections officials across the country rejected during the presidential primaries. Yasensak says in a high turnout general election, rejected ballots nationwide could run into the millions. Alabama voters can't correct errors to absentee ballots, but they can check on their ballots at myinfo.alabamavotes.gov and find out after the election if the ballots were counted or rejected. They can also confirm their voter registration status and find out their polling place if voting in person. Meanwhile, with the potential for absentee ballots to be the hanging chads of the 2020 election, the chairman of both the Mobile County Republican and Democratic parties are bracing for possible legal battles.
The Republican Party will have lawyers on standby throughout the country for issues that might arise, and the Democratic Party will do the same.
Whatever the margin is statewide, Mobile County is very close. It is a very purple county, and we obviously will be watching and enforcing wherever we can the rights of our voters to vote.
But Mobile County probate judge Don Davis says there's no wiggle room to count an improperly submitted absentee ballot.
Follow the letter of the law in Mobile County.
The deadline to request an absentee ballot is October 29th, and you have until the next Monday to get that ballot back in. Reporting in Mobile for Fox 10 News, this is Brendan Kirby.